Alright guys, so I've decided to make a tutorial video, that way I don't have to keep updating all the text files in the group, and that way if somebody doesn't have a Facebook, I can actually just give them the link to the YouTube video. So this over here is the launcher that I'm giving people. If you don't actually have Minecraft yet, you haven't purchased it, or you want to try it out, this is a great way to do so. I used it for a while myself before purchasing the game. So basically all you do is launch it after downloading it, and I can make a separate video for that. Type in a username, hit save username, which will give, then save it to this list of usernames here. Then you just hit play. This will take you to the main Minecraft launcher. It just has different news for you. And then you hit play again. Alright, so now we have the regular Minecraft screen. This over here is actually Discord. I'll do a separate video on that later. So I'm going to full screen this. We're going to go over multiplayer. So this is the information for my server. The IP address is 71.200.80.251. The official server name is Swordcraft, but you can put whatever you want. So then basically you'd hit add server to get to that. Hit double click on it. And we come into the server. The first thing you'll notice is that you'll have a message saying please register the server with the command /register password confirm password. You can prefix this with /reg, and then we're just going to type in this is pass, this is pass. Alright, and we are now registered. Alright, so that'll actually do different things. For example, if we were in our home and we log into the server, it will always take you back to the spawn point and tell you to log in. This is done so that people who are using the cracked versions can't get into somebody else's account by just using the same username, because they won't have your password. Alright, so now we're going to notice that we can't actually break anything. Nothing works. If we had any tools, we couldn't use them. If we had any apples, we couldn't eat them. We can still get hit, and we can still take damage. If I were to fall here, I take some fall damage, and then if I can find a mob, you can get experience. That's one of the few things that you're allowed to do before you actually have any permissions on the server. You are able to die, you're able to damage other mobs with your fist, but not with any tools or weapons. I can't actually find one right now, but that's fine. So once you get into the server, after you've registered, the first thing you're going to do is get somebody with the ability to change your group to basically to vet you, or to change it for you. Let me see if I can kill this with just my fist so I don't destroy the server. Okay, so I'm going to see if I don't have access to that command. So basically we're just going to die here. But I'm going to pause this and move my group up one so we can actually build things. Alright, so you see the message there. It says you've moved the group Neophyte in the world. So we can now actually do anything that we need. We can use whatever commands we would normally have access to. For instance, /AFK. If we type this, you're now in a temporary God mode. Let me actually get out of this real quick. Type AFK again. Just to show you, if I were to find that skeleton again. I died. Let's try this one more time. Okay, so we're just going to type /back. Alright, and AFK. While you're AFK, you're in a temporary God mode, nothing can actually harm you. If you jump or interact with anything, it'll take you out of AFK. I keep dying. Alright. So the reason I keep dying so often here, other than the fact that I don't have any items, is because we only start with 5 hearts. Now, that is a little rough on new players. However, if you type /HP, you'll get an experience bar, and once this goes to 150, you'll get a half a heart. HP is actually measured in half hearts, so at 10 HP, at 10 hearts, you have 20 HP. So if I kill this sheep over here, if you noticed it said 2 HP and the little holograph there, hologram, whatever. We type -HP, and now we have 2 HP, or 2 experience. So the other thing you're going to notice is on the right side of the screen, we have a bunch of stats. So if I do /kit tools, I don't have sufficient funds. Okay, so give me just a moment here. Alright, so just for the purpose of this video, I've added 1,000 to my account. So if we type /kit tools, I've now received the kit and lost 250 yen. So if I type -woodcutting, for example, I will see that I have 0 experience and 1,020 experience remaining to the next level. If I right click and then break the bottom block here, an ability called Tree Feller activates, and as you noticed, it breaks the entire tree. And then after a few seconds it wears off. And it has a cooldown of 230 seconds at the very base level. But if we type, or if you see over here, we now have gotten some experience with woodcutting. So as these things level up, you'll get new abilities. You can check what those are here. So Tree Feller makes trees explode, Leaf Blower blows away with leaves, and Double Drops is fairly self-explanatory. And if you see here, it locked until level 100 means that you will not get that ability until you have ranked up 100 levels. Alright, so this is true for all of the tools that you can use in the game. Swords give you experience for doing that. I believe it's every hit you use with a sword gives you experience. If you look at the help for MCMMO, which is the plugin that governs all of that, you can find out. Or you can simply type /swords like this, and it'll tell you how you get experience from it. XP gains from attacking monsters. That being said, you can type MC stats to get the board back up, and then MC scoreboard keep to keep it there. By default, it'll be over there until something else moves it out of the way. Other than that, I think that's the basis for this. Wait. Okay, so another thing to look at is if we type /AR check. Wow, I can't type today. You'll see that this is what you need to level up to the next rank. Sorry, to rank up. So play for 3 hours, have at least level 5, be in game mode 0, have at least killed 50 mobs. Now mobs includes all hostile and non-hostile mobs. So if you kill 50 sheep, you'll still have completed that particular task. You need to kill 2 creepers without them exploding, and then get all of the really, really basic achievements. So say we wanted to see how many mobs we've killed. We'll just type /AR track and then 4, right? Because it's the 4th one there, and it tells us we've killed 4 out of 50 mobs. And then for the rest of them, if you need to find your achievements, they're right here. You can use your mouse wheel to scroll out a little bit, and these have to be gotten in a certain order. So after we get bench making, we can then get time to farm and time to strike and so on and so forth. After we've gotten all of these, it'll automatically rank you up. Depending on what you are before, you might get some items, you might get some gold. You will almost always get some new permissions, or you'll get better residence sizes. So that being said, I'm going to show you how residence works. So first thing you need to do is make a stick. And if you don't know what the recipe for something is, you just type /recipe. And then whatever it is. So if we wanted stick, right? It'll show us that's how you make a stick. And that works for anything that's in the game. So we're going to take our stick, and you're going to left click one spot, and then right click another. So if we do that, you're going to see this little glowy outline here with the particle effects. This is saying that this is the area we're attempting to claim. So we're going to stand inside this. Actually, I'm going to right click this and move out a little bit so it's just a little bit bigger. We stand inside this, we type /res create and then a name. So I'm just going to do video. Alright. and it's charged me 180 yen to my vault account. It tells me that it is my main and that I've created a residence. So if we type res set, we now get this really nice GUI overlay, so we don't have to do all this stuff with commands. If we hover over these, it'll tell us what they do. So for example, this one allows or denies the interaction with an anvil. So if we want to say, no, you're not allowed to use those in my residence, you can right click it and it'll be disabled. Same with cake, ice forming and ice melting, plants growing, whether or not liquids flow into the residence, whether mobs drop experience. And there's actually a ton more. As you rank up, you'll be able to use ones like feed, which will slowly feed you while you're in your house. The same with heal. And you can just look through all of these and they'll tell you what you need. Alright, so the next one I'd like to show you is LWC. For this one I'm going to need to get a little bit more wood. Oh, right, I just made this as a house, so I need to go somewhere else to get more wood. And I just wasted all of the time on that ability. So, need to break wood the old-fashioned way. Alright, and there you see I've actually leveled up once. So I'm going to come over to the house, and it'll tell you when you're entering and leaving it. Okay, so in here, all of my stuff is protected. You can't open any doors or anything like that. But if I were to try and go over to here and just make a small residence, and yes, that is overkill. I don't really need all that, just to show you. Okay, so make a crafting bench. And a door. So, when you first place a door, it can be opened by anyone, but if you were to type /c protect, C private, and you left click on it, this is now locked. No one but you can open it. Now if you type C, actually, I think it's LWC flags auto close on. Nope. It's not quite right. It's flag. And left click it, it'll now auto close. So if I just do that, a few seconds here, the door will close on its own. So one nice thing about this is it'll actually work for double doors. So if I were to come in here and make a very strange looking house by expanding like so, I can put a second door here, and if I apply it to this flag, then I one, and I make sure that they're actually set, it'll open both of them. C private, sorry, they've changed the commands a little bit. There we go. Looks a little bit better if you actually protect both of them. So what that will do, however, if you make a chest, it'll automatically protect it. As you see in the corner, it says create private chests successfully. Same thing for hoppers, dispensers, most other things that can store items or use items. LWC automatically protects those. That way you don't actually have to have money to buy the land for them. That being said, let's see if I can find a flatter area over here somewhere and try and buy an area that's too big for me. If I right click this, and I come over here and I left click this, and I do /res create test, right? I already own the maximum of residences. So you can only own one residence as a neophyte. As you go up, you can own more. You can delete a residence by doing /res remove while standing in it, and then res confirm, and then it'll give you some of the money back to your account. If you're not in it, you just do /res remove and then the name of the residence, so it would have been video there. So now I have this area over here. You'll notice I don't actually have to be standing in it to create it, so res create test, and I actually had enough money for that. But if I res remove, res confirm, and then balance, I still have just enough, so we're going to extend this just a little further. And then let's create test. It'll say that it is too big, so we're going to come back here, try again. I don't have enough money. So with this, if we're standing inside of it, we can do /res select. Sorry, it's res select cost, and it'll tell us how much the cost of the land we're looking at is, which is 810 yen. That way you don't actually have to buy it if you're not quite sure if you have enough or not. Alright, so I suppose the next thing I'll get into is the Discord server. So if I were to come out of here and just put this over to the left, bring up the chat and bring up Discord again, you'll notice that if somebody types in here, it pops up in the server, and if I type in here, it pops up in Discord. So what you can do, I've already linked mine, so I won't be doing it again, is type /discord link, and then it'll give you a code. My link code would be 5611, so you come over to the bot, you just type that in, and it'll link you to it. So then whenever you type in here, it'll link you to that over here. So if you want to run a command that your user is able to use, you can run it from here. Commands are issued as such, and the server says hi. Mind you, most people don't have access to the server say command. That's just an example. So I think that's most of what I need to show you guys for just the basic tutorial for being a neophyte in the game. Other than that, please go ahead and read all of the help commands available to you. These will help you out a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Facebook or Discord. Other than that, have a good day, guys. Thanks.